I work for a company called Vivid Video, which is an exclusive contract, and I have my limits. There's certain things that I won't do.
Now, what won't you do?
Ooh. Well, I don't do anal, for one thing. And past 2 parties of doing a scene with the person, I won't pass about 2 people, you know, different scenes. But inside the X-rated business, I'm considered the girl next door type of movies. Yeah.
Now, how does one get considered as the girl next door in an industry of adult entertainment? Explain that. I'm missing something here.
It's a how would you say? I guess it would be my innocence in a sense. You know, like I said, I have certain limits, certain things that I don't do. So what people consider to be freaky is definitely not on my tip, you know.
Since you mentioned that in your particular industry you're considered the girl next door, let me ask you, most black actresses in Hollywood complain bitterly, and quite frankly, they complain legitimately about the lack of quality roles, so to speak, for black actresses. I'm wondering whether or not in your particular genre of adult entertainment, whether or not there's the same struggle for black women to find quality roles, and if so, what would a quality role be in your particular industry?
Well, the thing about in the industry of African Americans in the industry, a lot of them don't go out to do what they feel they're worth to do. You know, I mean, if you go out and you do a few amateur films, and then you decide to go to a high-class production company and decide to do a film with them, they're not going to give you the same type of budget they're going to give when you just did pro-am films, you know, because you just put out at least about 10 or 20 films. So they're not going to give you the quality of a star production. And that's really about how you come into the business and how you feel how much you're worth.
But how does one get to be on the level where you are, get to be a quality star and get the kind of scripts that you want when...
you got to go in there and demand respect. No matter if you're black, you're white, Hispanic, you definitely have to demand respect. And you have to know exactly what you want.
And I assume that when you say demand respect, demanding respect means telling them what you will do and what you won't do and declining certain roles?
Exactly, because like throughout the business, I've been in the X-rated adult business, I never like to be stereotyped. You know, you'll never see me on a box cover that says black swirl, fudge, vanilla, tip, all that. It just doesn't happen. You know, if you're gonna portray me as an actor or actress, it's going to be as Heather Hunter.
Before we go to our first break, I have to ask you, and first of all, let me say we were talking before we went on the air, and you told me your father just had a stroke, and so let me send our best wishes for your father's recovery.
Thank you.
You're certainly welcome. Let me ask you, though, how your father, your parents, but for your father in particular, what does your dad think of what you do, and how does he deal with it?
I'm daddy's girl. My daddy loves me no matter what I do. If I worked at McDonald's, he doesn't matter, you know. People come up to him, they tell him that, oh, I saw your daughter on this TV show. So he'll come out and say, well, wait till you see what she does next year, you know. So he really loves me. The support is there.
So he's not bothered at all by your business?
The support is there. I've been a responsible person all my life. You know, I've been very independent all my life. So dealing with my family, my mother, my brother, my sister, all of them, they look out for me.
All right. You're watching BET Talk. I am Tavis Smiley. Our phone numbers are 1-888-BET 6302 or 202-832-0321 if you're calling from the D.C. metro area. We're talking to Heather Hunter. We are back with more of our conversation and your phone calls right after this. Don't go away.
Good evening. I had limitations. There's certain things that I wouldn't do that I felt that, you know, I feel that you could portray having a sexual act and still be that girl next door, still have that natural grace about it.
Now, when we said...
Back to BET Talk, I'm Tavis Smiley. You're joined, we are joined, I should say, by Heather Hunter. And you just saw a piece that you may have seen on HBO. That was part of an HBO special, that a show called Real Sex, that Heather was on here recently. Let me ask you before we go to the phone lines, Heather, whether or not this is your ideal career. I asked you before the break what your dad thought of what you did. I cannot imagine that running around as a 7-year-old kid, you were saying, I want to be a porn star when I grow up.
Oh, see, that's funny, because like when I'm an artist, I do art, and I've been drawing Playboy bunnies since I was a little kid. I've always been intrigued by erotica, and when I set out to go on my own, I started off dancing. And then the dancing led to centerfolds, and then the dancing led to centerfolds to movies. And that was just part of the path of what I've done in my life. You know, I have other talents that I'd like to achieve too, that I'm doing now, which is my art, my music, and my book. You know, I'm somewhat, you would say, a Renaissance woman. I have a lot of things that need to be done in this lifetime.
All right, let's take some phone calls. Let's go first to Texas and talk to Annette. Thanks for calling, Annette. You're on BET Talk.
Okay. Hello, Miss Hunter.
Hello.
Hello?
Annette, go ahead. You're on the air.
How you doing?
I think
Yes.
we have two callers. Annette, are you still there?
Hello.
Caller? All right, until we get that squared away, let's talk about some of the videos that you've appeared in. We saw actually a couple clips from some of your videos you've appeared in. Some of the videos that you appear in get responses from certain women, not just you, I don't mean to beat up on you, but a lot of African-American women complain about the fact that many videos, music videos, rap videos, portray African-American women in a very negative and very stereotypical and very degrading light. I'm wondering how you respond to black women who think that what you do in terms of videos and what you do for a living is in fact degrading and offensive to women.
Well, I've been doing this all my life, as you were saying, and I work very hard at what I do. I'm truly blessed with how I got here and everything that I'm achieving to do. And I'm really not living for everyone else. I'm living for myself, honestly. You know, like I'm not really a role model. I don't choose to be a role model. I believe role models should be taken home in place with the families, you know. But as in degrading, you can't be abused unless you let somebody abuse you. And I'm not being abused at this point.
Okay, you say you're not a role model. You have kids?
And I don't have any
No kids,
children.
okay. If you had kids, would you let your teenage kids watch some of the rap music videos you've appeared in? Or music videos, period, you've appeared in?
No, I have to be honest, I wouldn't. It depends on how aged they are, what age they are, and it depends on what video we're talking about. You know, there's a lot of videos out there that I don't believe that should be out on the market, you know. At the same time, there's other things that I believe that is classy and is sexual and sensual and should be, you know, shown. Like the Tupac video that I did, I thought it was done very tastefully.
Let's try this phone thing again. Okay. We'll go to Colorado and talk to Stephanie. Stephanie, thanks for calling. You're on BET Talk.
Hello?
Hi, Stephanie. You're on the air.
Heather, hi. What I wanted to say is that I really do admire you for your tenacity and your strength and most of all your self-confidence. And my question was, do you have any advice for an African-American heterosexual woman on how to become more comfortable with my sexuality?
You want to take this?
Huh?
Did you hear the question?
No, I didn't hear.
Oh, she was asking you, the caller asked whether or not you could give her some advice on how to become more comfortable with her own sexuality.
You just got to be able to express yourself and be true to yourself, you know. I think as in expressing your sexuality in this world is so hard in this society because everyone is so tabooed by it. But it's really about just being comfortable with oneself and not really caring about how people feel about you. Just really trusting what you feel inside and just relax.
All right. Back to the phone lines to Denise in Maryland. Denise, thanks for calling. You're on BET Talk.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Miss Hunter. First time I saw you was on HBO on Real Sex.
Denise, can you turn your television down? We're getting a horrible echo there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, turn your TV down right quick.
Maybe I'm just... Okay.
Go ahead now.
All right. Yes, I saw you on HBO on Real Sex, and that was the first time I had seen you. I had never really heard of you, and I just admire you for what you're doing and how you express your sexuality, because I think a lot of women have a problem with expressing their sexuality, and I just admire you just for, you know, going out there and expressing what you do and everything like that. So I just wanted to say that I just totally admire you.
Denise, thank you for your phone call. She admires, of course, what you do and said that very clearly. I'm wondering whether or not there are other ways for black women to express their sexuality. I mean, do you have to do what Heather does to be applauded for having expressed one's sexuality?
No, you just have to be yourself, you know. Honestly, what I do for a living is a form of entertainment. So what you do behind your closed doors and what you do in everyday life is really is just being, like I said, being comfortable with yourself.
Let me ask you how the industry, how long have you been doing what you do now in the adult entertainment industry?
It's been 9 years.
9 years. How has the industry changed since you first joined it? And what impact specifically has AIDS had on the industry that you are part of?
It's so funny you say that because since from day one when I started in the business, everyone is tested for AIDS and any other type of sexually transmitted diseases that's on the set. It's always been that from day one. As you would say, the difference of the business now is that society is being a little bit more lenient, you know, because everyone capitalizes off of sex. You know, you go into the music business, you go into the acting business, everyone is capitalizing off of sex. And I think society is being a little bit more comfortable with the idea and realize that it's okay to express your sexuality. You know, so it definitely has calmed down and changed.
More of our conversation with Heather Hunter and your phone calls right after this commercial break. Don't go away. We're back in just a moment.
Who are you voting for? I'm voting for my kid.
Does HIV cause AIDS? Not everyone believes it does. In fact, at least one doctor says, quote, it is one of the most harmless viruses you could possibly have. Well, we'll take a look at both sides of this controversial issue on Monday's edition of BET Talk, 11 p.m. Eastern. We hope that you'll be here. For now, though, we are continuing our conversation with adult entertainment star Heather Hunter and taking more of your phone calls. So give us a buzz. Our numbers again, 1-888-BET-6302. Or if you're calling from the D.C. metro area, 202-832-0321. We go now to the phone lines. We'll start now in Maryland with Michelle. Michelle, thanks for calling. You're on BET Talk. Michelle, you there? All right, while we find Michelle, let me ask you another question. Okay. Can you eventually, you think, make the jump to mainstream television and mainstream film? I'm wondering specifically whether or not, because you've now been in the adult entertainment industry for 9 years, whether or not you're ever going to be allowed to actually make the jump to more legitimate mainstream television and film.
Well, I've been doing it. You know, I've been taking little quiet steps, you know, but I've definitely conquered that point. I did my first record, which is Island Records. That was a legit company. I've done a few spots on R-rated films. Right now, I have a good thing happening right now, this movie deal that I can't talk about right now.
But you can tease it, but you can't talk about it.
I can tease it, but hopefully I get the part and it'll work out.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm wondering whether or not it's typical to have been in the business for as long as you have been, for 9 years, and then at this point in your career start to make that move. If you were, for example, white as opposed to an African-American, would it have happened sooner for you or not at all? Or how does that?
That's so funny you say that, because it wouldn't. Being an adult entertainment and being an adult star is definitely somewhat of a, it can definitely keep you branded. No matter if you're black, white, or Hispanic, it doesn't matter. It's just, you have to be determined. You got to know what you want, and you got to go for what you want. You got to work twice as hard, but you got to be serious. You got to make sure that people take you serious.
Okay. Let's take some more phone calls. John in Maryland, thanks for calling. You're on BET Talk.
Yeah, I just wanted to know, how does it feel to discuss your career on TV?
It feels like an ultimate orgasm, by the way.
I know that good.
No, I don't mind expressing myself, you know. It's really good to let people know exactly how I feel and the way I tick, you know. Because people tend to think that I'm different from everyone else, but I'm just like everyone else.
John raises an interesting point. Are there questions that you could ask repeatedly? Are there questions that I've asked tonight that bug the heck out of you, that you get tired of being asked, you get tired of being answered, you feel like you're being degraded by the question? I mean, what really turns you off that you get asked all the time?
Honestly, if I ever slept with Magic Johnson, that definitely hits me to a strong point.
Yeah, and you were asked that so many times.
So many times, because a few years ago I got caught up in some scandal, and this is back when he was tested for HIV, and I never slept with Magic Johnson, but it's always...
So I want to have to ask you then.
Yeah, it's always brought up, you know, so of course I go on every TV show and let them know that I never slept with Magic Johnson.
You heard it here. Heather Hunter did not sleep with Urban Magic Johnson. I'm Tavis Smiley. You're watching BET Talk. More of your phone calls for Heather Hunter right after this. Don't go away.
Who are you voting for? I'm voting for my kids.
I'm gonna vote for my mother, because if I don't, who will?
President Clinton will.
Welcome back to BET Talk. We are joined tonight by adult entertainment queen Heather Hunter. We've been taking your phone calls. We'll do more of that in just a second. Let me ask you, I think you own, either you own or run or both, a club in Los Angeles. What's the name of the club?
It's called Bar One, but the name of the club night is called the G-Spot. It's on Sunset.
The G-Spot?
Yeah. Oh. It's on Sunset Boulevard. It's going to open November 7th. And I have Columbia Records going to be sponsoring the first month. It's me and my partner, Cece, from Be Yourself Promotion.
So it's just a dance club?
Yeah, it'll be every night, every week on a Thursday.
And you are working on a book. I'm trying to mention some of the things I know you're working on that you wanted to promote. What's the name of the book? When's the book coming out?
The book is called Where the Love Is.
Where the Love Is.
And it'll be out probably next year.
Okay. Let me ask you one or two quick personal questions. I know you probably feel like I've asked too many already. I'm wondering whether or not you have, you said earlier you don't have kids, but are you married? Do you want to be married? Do you want to have a family? How's all that fit into your career?
I'm divorced. I was married, but I want to get married again. I have someone special in my life right now. It's really important to me. And of course I want to have kids.
Yeah. How many?
2.
2 or 3 kids?
2. Just 2. Don't
So how far,
3.
all right. So how far down the road is this?
Before I hit 30.
Yeah.
Definitely before I hit 30.
All right. Let's try some more phone calls. We go down to Michigan, I believe, to Dorothy. Dorothy, thanks for calling. You're on BET Talk.
Hello?
Hi, you're on the air.
Hi.
Yes, hi, how are you?
How you doing?
Okay. Well, I have a statement and a question. Basically what I'm saying, I hear a lot of callers glorifying what you're doing and everything, but I personally feel as a black woman, it is very degrading what you're doing. I mean, you know, you said earlier that you don't feel that you should be a role model, but I feel if you're a black woman and out in the scenes, you should be a role model, just like everyone was saying about Tupac. He wasn't a role model or whatever, you know, a lot of people that are not role models. I think if you're in the public eye, you should be a role model and watch what you do. Basically what I'm saying is, I mean, it's degrading to me personally as a black woman what you're doing.
Dorothy, what's your question right quick?
I'm sorry?
What's your question? You said you had a comment and a question.
Can I express what she just said?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Well, what I believe that I'm doing is probably not degrading to me. You know, I look out for my family, I look out for my friends, I look out for myself. No one's going to take care of me but me, and I'm going to take care of people who's around me, you know, and I understand what you're saying, you have your point of view, but you have to understand when I have my point of view, is what I believe that's not degrading is not degrading to me, and you have your own opinion. But like I said, I'm very blessed to how I got here, and I understand exactly what you're going through, but it's all good. You know, I'm living in the world just like everybody else.
Let's try to squeeze in one more phone call, Heather. Let's go to Maryland and talk to Dina. Dina, thanks for calling. You're on BET Talk.
Hello, hi. How you doing? I saw you on BET on the sex and taboo thing, and I saw the way you was looking at Tretch. I wanted to know, do y'all have anything going on?
What's up with you and Tretch?
There's nothing with me and Tretch, nothing. I actually like men who are bald-headed. That's definitely it. I love bald-headed men. But,
shave your heads, all the guys in the studio standing around. He takes off his hat. You see, he's taking. we have a lot of guys, for those at home who can't see what's happening in the studio. We have like 80,000 black men standing around the studio, and all those with shaved heads are taking off their hats. You have to be here to appreciate it.
The funniest thing, who I found very sexy was definitely Isaac Hayes and Pam Grier. It was really good to be in the same company with them.
We are out of time, unfortunately, and never long enough. I make sure to make one quick correction. I mentioned earlier that we saw a clip. I said HBO. That was actually a BET production. The caller just corrected me, and so I stand corrected. That was a BET production. I should be slapped for giving HBO credit for something that we did here at BET that you saw Heather Hunter in. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for being here. Hope you enjoyed the show. Tonight happens to be our 1-month anniversary. Believe it or not, it's been a month that BET Talk has been on the air. We are delighted to have been here. Glad that you've watched us every night. Keep watching. We're here Monday through Thursday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern, and we will see you on Monday night. Take care. Have a good weekend, and keep the faith.
Who are you voting for? I'm voting.
We'll move to France.
Get away from those taxes?
What happened?
Accident.
Anyway, flying. I don't know.
All right.
So they both play instruments?
Yeah.
I'm not playing this morning.
What are you going to do?
I'm just going to sit here and smile.
Really?
Smile at you.
Is that
brought me here to
That's
smile
it?
at